Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash. This is AshQuest, and it's really a mess, but something I really wanted to do at some point was kind of show you the methods by which I create these quests. And I really have a bit of a setup here, what with my newer camera frame and my second monitor, this cheap Arzopa. And the lighting here is going to be really, really dark for just another second, so please pardon me. I've got my lights all set up along this thing so that we can have evenly lit quests that don't cast a bunch of shadows. And I use these beautiful dungeon mats from Ian Schofield because they're neoprene and they don't cast any gloss or glare back at the camera. So really an excellent setup for setting up a bunch of jam quests one after the other. I have my HeroQuest entities, all my monsters, within arm's reach, kind of ranked sort of by color and then power. So then goblins, orcs, and then the abominations. The Fimir will go there later when I switch to classic quests. Skeletons in the first tray. The second tray, there's not a lot of zombies in the game, so then zombies and specters share that. And then mummies in the last tray, and if I need to put something that's not used very often back there, I will. But it's the farthest from me, so the least efficient to grab. And so therefore should be a not often used monster. Dread warriors, and then ogres, and then gargoyles, cultists, and dread sorcerers. And then I didn't buy a fourth tray, so where the fourth tray would go, I've got all of the Mage of the Mirror, Rise of the Dread Moon, and Frozen Horror enemies. I would probably put all of the elves in one tray. I would put all of the Mage of the Mirror non-elves characters and Rise of the Dread Moon characters in the second, and in the third tray I'd put all of the Frozen Horror stuff. I don't think I need to separate them any more than that. In fact, in this tray I've got all of my Frozen Horror mercenaries. So all of those are in there, all the grays. Pretty much separating them by color though, with white and clear sharing. And then my translucent monsters I don't have anywhere here on the board. I've got a bit of a border with Jenga blocks. That way we kind of block off the people, the monsters in the trays. And then just because I have very limited table space, and even having it set up like this was serendipitous already, I have other stuff in less convenient areas with the doors. Here's the archers from Against the Ogre Horde. My doors are all in this box. My furniture is in this box, and then my tiles are probably the most inconvenient thing. They're all just kind of right at my side, but nothing is too far out of reach. You've already seen where my camera gets set up, but I've got two different ways to hold the camera. One is this static sort of mount. I can change the ball joint on this, and I can raise and lower it. I actually am using two cupboards to keep it in the raised position so that you can see more of the board until I decide to bring that down. And then this movable arm, which is not a low profile arm, but it's something that I can control a little bit and move. And that just lets me have smoother sweeping shots of the board. So yeah, anybody who's interested in having a setup close to this or like this, or who would like ideas to set up their cameras for HeroQuest games, this is what I've got going on. And I hope that this helps somebody out there. Now, if you'd like a demonstration of a quest setup, I'll just take this and place it right up top there so it doesn't get in my way. And then I'll go ahead and fasten my camera to the mount. And then I can take my mouse, and I have my cursor over here on my second monitor, which you can't see now. But since these are neoprene mats, they are perfect for putting mice on and navigating your PC. With the monitor here in front of me, instead of way over there off to my side, I'm no longer doing like 90-degree turns, over 90s, to see what needs to go on a quest repeatedly back and forth. And this has been a huge help for my quest building. So now I'm just going to zoom in on the PDF, and now I can see all of the quest details, and I can start building. So as a general rule of thumb, I'll grab whatever feels most intuitive. If I had all of the stuff in the previous quest set up, I actually take my quests apart methodically. I would take all of the enemies off one color at a time, using both hands to kind of throw everybody back where they're supposed to go. I'd take all the doors off, and then I would move all the furniture together to the center room. So I'd have a pile of furniture, and then I would take all of my tiles off. And then when I start to build the next quest, all my furniture is here, and I can just start placing out the furniture that's going to get used. So that's not really happened this time around because I cleaned up this board entirely, so I can kind of start from scratch. But now I'm going to kind of show you the quest building process, and I'll try to have a static image of this quest up here on the screen in post. This is called Track Him, Find Him, Kill Him. And funnily enough, this is another one of those quests where I'm going to say, never mind. I was looking at something else. Never mind on the commentary. I have, like I said, my tiles at my side. And sometimes I'll go a little bit out of order in placing things. I just want to kind of mentally compartmentalize each section that I've done. This one's got the heroes actually illustrated directly on the quest map in front of the stairs, so that's where I'll put them. In my mind, I like to place the doors, and I like to do quadrant at a time. Sometimes I break away from that because it just feels a little bit more flowing to do so, but that's what I like to do, if it doesn't feel too off. And I do this until the quest is built, and then I double check to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I do another sweep. Sometimes I still miss stuff anyway. Generally, I don't put secret doors or the contents of secret door rooms out, but in this case I'm going to, just because it's not really like a hard set in stone rule or anything like that. And then you probably can't see what I'm even putting down, can you? We'll slightly move. There we go. All of the stone walls. I learned my lesson from the last quest that I built. I really need to make sure I have all of my walls, all of my stone accessible to me. This one uses quite a bit. So with that placed there, the upper left quadrant is complete in its entirety. And then it's time to go on to the right quadrant. And we've got some tables. And I don't have any qualms about using elvish furniture in place of normal furniture, base game furniture. I don't care. I'll place either one. There's no distinction made in the quest map. Usually people aren't going to care which version I use, so I'll just kind of mix it up. And the day that somebody cares about the aesthetic is probably the day I'll address it, but we'll put a bookshelf here. I probably would just address it by saying, who cares? This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter unless your quest is like really dependent on the lore being correct and being pretty specific, like this is an anti-elf place. We don't use elf stuff here. Then I would be like, okay, I get it. Center room furniture placement's done. I just knocked that out while I was here. I've got this in my hand. I want to get this out of the way and off the board, so the sooner I can place the rest of the furniture pieces, the better. I see a chest in this room. I see the torture rack here. I see a weapons rack down here. The giant mouse can move for now, just right off onto the table there at my side. Rock wall here and here. Doors. Again, just kind of being as intuitive as I care. Just doing what feels right to me, not worried about anybody else's more efficient way. It's all irrelevant. Now we have an open secret door. Of course, it's not open. It's just on the map. Portrayed as open. I'm going to go ahead and lay out this quest in its entirety. I think that's what I'll do this time around. Just because no real reason not to. The upper right quadrant is not done until I've placed the enemies. I can go ahead and put this furniture to the side, and I'll go ahead and place the skeletons, which we've got one here. I'm going to have them facing the door. I'm going to have this one facing over here. Love this this bookshelf being in the middle of the room. We've got some zombies in here. And then we've got a skeleton in this corridor, 1 block away. The upper right quadrant is now finished, save for abomination in the hallway. And then there's a goblin actually right here in the corridor, 4 squares up. Door, secret door. Door. Block. Now we're going to aim our sights downward. So we'll adjust the camera. And then you should be able to see just about everything. Center room. We're going to do the center room next. The center room has a gargoyle. Very easy to pick out the gargoyle. And the dread knights, the dread warriors, the dread army. Center of the room. Very dangerous center room this time around. Very dangerous. Okay. We've got a mummy. Whoops. Apparently he wants to go flying. Put him right here. Around the center room, nothing else is there, so the center room is now complete, except save for a goblin. Goblin right here. Guarding the dead end. Woe be they who trespass upon the dead end. Goblin over here. Okay, and there's a goblin in this lower right quadrant hallway. Outside of the bottom of the room, there is a door. There is an orc. There is a door. Everything is within arm's reach. There are 2 orcs here. This isn't really going to be an issue for people who are revealing the quests room at a time, which is how you should be doing it, I realize. But I really am just in love with the presentation of quests from top to bottom whenever doing a video on it. At some point, I'm going to be doing reviews of all of the canonical quests in the game system. And when I do, I'll be presenting the quests in the same way. I'll be building the entire quest. I need another secret door, don't I? I need another secret door. I'll be building the entire quest first, and then I will... Come on, where's the secret door? These are all the block tiles. I guess it's a good thing that they don't share tiles with secret doors. At least not this stack. Got a lot of dedicated blocks. That's really good. Yeah. Can't wait to do that, actually. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it's something that people have asked for. And it's something people have asked for fan expansions, like For the Blood is Life. So that was actually the first video on the channel, giving an overview of the now classic Blood Quest. I can't remember if that's what it was called or not. I have it stored away. With the rest of my materials, so no danger of it being forgotten about, lost, or anything like that. Something that you'll notice is I place open doors everywhere. This isn't to denote that the doors are open in the quest. It's just to give me more visibility so that I can do sweeping shots around the quest and you can see the monsters through the open doors. I feel like you'll inherently know as a HeroQuest player that these doors are supposed to be closed when you first discover the room. I don't think that there should be an issue with that. It's all for presentation. It doesn't affect how I test play or have fun with any of the quests, anything like that. Now I'm going to take my mouse and go through and make sure that I've got all my monsters all set up. I've got an orc next to this mummy. We've got a skeleton in the weapons rack room. Love that. Just love the skeleton enemy in general. The skeleton enemy is great. And in the bottom, we've got a couple of doors. We've got one here. We've got one here. And I also keep at this point, keep a pretty close count on all the assets that are being used. I'm using just a copy of everything one copy of everything. So if as soon as I run out of assets, I know the quest has become disqualified because I'm using the maximum amount of assets allowed in the jam to build the quests up to the maximum amount. And there's the secret door for that room. And now everything on this quest has been revealed. Everything except for the orange traps, which those I do not put on the board. I go ahead and keep those until I run into them playing. And then, by the way, for anybody worried about how I play the quests, I just use an honor system, really, to kind of determine difficulty. I always play a very aggressive Zargon against my own heroes. I don't think HeroQuest is a very hard thing to solo play. The only thing you have to worry about is like the order of rooms to get to the last place on the map to be able to complete it, and the traps. And in my mind, if I go ahead and just follow the prescribed order, but I make myself explore at least half of the optional rooms and fight half of the optional monsters, then it will be fair. And then as for traps, I will just usually, if I see one of my heroes has full health or just one too many body points for whatever stage of the quest they're at, I'll just go ahead and have them trigger a trap and run right into it as if we were playing to begin with. But if it's a certain hero's turn and they're in a certain place, I regard that hero as being careful. They belong to a careful player. They'll always search for traps. And so some heroes are going to find traps, others aren't. Again, it kind of goes down to honor system, but sometimes I assign a hero to a foolhardy player, which is really just me, and it just means whenever I play that hero, I don't search for traps ever. So it's just a way to solo. It's just a way to solo, not to be taken too seriously, and that's about it. That is the building of this quest and this vlog on kind of my mindset when I go about making quests. And you can definitely review this one, see if I missed anything. Looks pretty complete to me. Looks like it's going to be a really fun quest, and this will be the very next video that you see related to the quest jam. So thank you, brave heroes, so much for watching. I hope this video educated somebody out there or perhaps inspired them to make content of their own. I would love to see these quests in video format out there on other channels. I praise and support the other HeroQuest centric, HeroQuest focused channels, and I know mine goes off the rails quite a bit with covering different things. So by no means would I ever presume to monopolize the subject matter, even these quests, which are, of course, quest jam related quests. I hope people can make more content, and maybe it's just that you'd like to take pictures of your quest, and I highly encourage you to do so. I'm using my phone, which is a Samsung Note 10 Plus. I've had this phone for years and it continues to do a great job, so I just keep using it. I don't see any reason to switch to anything better or different. My webcam is a different camera, but I'm not about to take my webcam, USB corded it, and roll it all over the place, so I still use my phone. But the sweeping shots I do by hand. I will try to anchor my phone by setting it on a piece of furniture. So right now it's sitting on a bookshelf, and I'll tilt and pan downwards or around while I speak, saying what the quest notes are. Sometimes I'll see a particular shot that looks like a good opportunity for something dramatic. So like I'll try to peek at an enemy through a door or something. Now you can see why I use open doors. You can maximize the visibility on the board. I'll probably use a shot like this from time to time where I tilt upwards towards Mentor while I'm reading the quest notes. And then sometimes I'll try to get a good shot of the heroes through a door or something. I may need to move an enemy or something out of the way so that I can do that. That could help you take good shots of your board and your characters. And whoops, we've got a little bit of a tangling up here. These Dread Warriors want to be more than friends. There we go. And then sometimes I'll try to turn this thing around a little bit, but if I do it too much, it loops back on me, and then nobody wants to see that. So anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. Let me know what you thought of this in the comments below, please. Would love the engagement. Really appreciate each and every comment left. I read them all. I respond to as many as I can. I will see you, brave heroes, in the next episode. So until then, have a great rest of your day, and bye for now.